Alright, in this video today, I have just woken up, so I got the hat on. I probably look pretty bad around the eyes, but I am leaving for a trip. And so I figured get a video in the morning of us watching, this is St. Edward's versus Davenport, the new St. Edward's roster against the old Davenport team who have not made changes. And this is a full 7-game scrim that I've pulled games 2 through 4 from. And I'm not going to do any editing for this, so I have to take my word for this. But the scrim went 5-2 in favor of Davenport. They won 5 consecutive games to start off the scrim. So I wanted to see what kind of happened, which I don't think this is too shocking a result. It was 5-2 overall, with St. Edward's getting the last 2 games. And I think Davenport is the better team. I have them ranked higher, and while in my initial preseason ranking, I think I definitely had St. Edward's too low. I'm not surprised that Davenport were kind of, I mean, they looked the better team. Like, this is a scrim that is played where the results indicate a better team, even though it is just a scrim. So, right now, watching a lot of Davenport control. And this is game 2 as well. I skipped game 1, so both teams have a proper warm-up. That's what I always found. Game 1 is a warm-up game. You can never take those results too seriously. Almost in the same way that you can't take the last 2 games results seriously sometimes. Depends on the team. And I've got a small sample size of schools and teams that I've actually discussed and watched scrims with. So 1-1. Actually want to go back, see how they scored this, because this St. Edward's team is pretty cool to me, because Wellis has so much individual ability. Oh, okay. Alright, we'll skip ahead. But Wellis has so much individual ability that I am super excited to watch what happens with this team now that he's got teammates, and this was in flux in the offseason, that can absolutely unlock him and give him space to work with. Noly especially, and Tater if he is demonstrating consistency as a third man. So I think that's going to be the role that he kind of plays, is he's got to be a really good defender. He's got to be a capable defender, because then Noly and Wellis can move upfield and create space for the offense to work. And that's not to say that Tater will only be playing defense in that sense of the third man, but in the sense that Noly and Wellis have to have trust in him, because Tater is a really good player and he's got high-level reps, but in a lobby like this, he's going to more than likely be the 6th strongest player. So he kind of has to, part of his job is going to be making sure everyone in the lobby knows, or doesn't know, that he's the 6th strongest player. And who missed there on the backboard? Come on. Oh, what? Just transition me to fly cam. And Noly and Tater are both up. I think that might have been Noly's ball. I'm not sure what happened there. But let's watch Tater. That's Bolty. And Davenport as well. I think they are in a similar position with Bolty, which is why this is also a very interesting scrim. But Bolty has had a season of playing with Davenport, and so I don't expect him to struggle very much. But I do love Tater's mindset here. I mean, I think from the get-go, when he announced that he was going to St. Edward's, and that was after Noly was announced, it was a little bit shocking, and the way he phrased it, pretty well expressed that he knows this is a temporary move unless he proves otherwise. And there are some pretty high-level players that are going to be entering CRL in the spring. It's a funny kickoff play. Scrim moment. So there's going to be some high-level CRL players in the spring that haven't been in CRL before. And I wouldn't be surprised if St. Edward's, with the prospect of playing with Noly and Wellis, are going to, they should be able to grab some of those high-profile players. So, I'm rooting for Tater, honestly. I want to see him prove himself, and I want to see him earn this spot. Because I think that would be a really cool story. In a scene right now where we have a lot of players coming from RLCS fame, actually some of them current RLCS fame, but also some former RLCS fame, to have a guy that is very much homegrown in the CRL space take a starting spot from a potential RLCS player. I think that would be really cool. And I think Tater has the right mindset. He's the one that actually uploads all of these scrims, because I know he is locked into self and team improvement. And he was one of the first people that messaged me when I ranked St. Edwards as low as I did, looking to prove already that St. Edwards is above the 26 or 7 rank that I had him at. Which my preseason rankings were a little scuffed to begin with because of the amount of new teams in the top 32. But alright, Davenport seemed to have this game a bit sewn up. This is a good opportunity. Nice. 12 seconds left. Tater hits a shot that isn't easy to hit in a little bit of a clutch moment like that. It's a chance off kickoff, actually. Oh, Tater missed the boost, though. 2v1. Come on, Tater. Ah, how do you expect Cam to be shooting from that position if you're Tater here? Like, Cam disappears off camera. Cam's already up. Well, I knew the results of that play, but I was still rooting for him. Was that the one we just watched? No. But the reason that I am uploading so early today is because I am traveling to a different part of the state for a wedding. Which, for those of you that are involved in the Southeastern Esports League and Northeastern Esports League, if you watch this, it is Fred's wedding, Freddie Mac, who has been running those leagues since I joined as a caster. Well, running the SEL since I joined as a caster. So, if you know him, congratulate him. Because getting married is cool. Though it's weird to be at the age. This is kind of like a mid to late and also post-college thing, where all of your friends start getting married, or I don't know, acting like they never left college. That's where I'm at right now, which I'm not married, and I'm watching a CRL Scrim replay at 10 in the morning on a Friday. So you can tell which side of the aisle I'm on. But it is a bit of a weird feeling, because there's this urge to get your life in order, but I don't know. I don't feel like settling down kind of fits the style of work that I am embarking upon right now. Traveling all the time, going to all the lands and conventions that I do. So I'm going to keep watching CRL scrims, I think, at 10 a.m. on a Friday. Probably 10 p.m. on a Friday as well, just for the record. Man, Davenport are trying to style on St. Edwards here. And this is just game 3 as well. Which I do have the stats to my right. And both Brock and Cam averaged a goal per game in this series. But, I mean, the passing game of St. Edwards is pretty good. They are always, I think, pretty aware of where each other are. And that seems to be a focus of theirs. They're trying to, I don't know, be greater than the sum of their parts sounds wrong, but I think it's a phrase that's apt, because it does kind of suggest that the sum of their parts is weak inherently, or weaker. But wow, I mean, they don't have anyone doing that, first of all. And this is a crazy run that we're about to watch from Davenport. But they have a play style right now that I think is indicative of a team that's trying to use space and use teammates as opposed to individuals to win games. Which I think they've still got another effective win condition, a couple of other effective win conditions in what Wellis and Noly can do on the ball. But man, Cam has taken over. Is that his third? No, just second. Everyone else is scoring. Whew. Rough game. Let's see how St. Edward's battles back here. But, like, the precision demo focus, the passing game focus, and the counterattack focus, I think all indicate that St. Edward's is trying to play a team play style, which I like. Big fan of that. Oh, that's a whiff, though. And those are the sorts of moments that in big series, I don't think Tater will be afforded. Which is why I think St. Edward's is such an interesting team right now. Because I find it an interesting study when teams have a third man that is a little bit weaker than the other two. Because I want to see what kind of trust they have in him. I've watched teams before that have two very strong players and one very weak player. And the very weak player is a liability at times. And those moments of being a liability lead to the two strong players just diving every chance they get in defense. They don't let the third man touch the ball. They don't let them have any isolated situations in defense, which is understandable. But if you are going to be a high-level team, you have to have that trust in your third. Otherwise, you're just not going to be able to do anything in offense outside of the occasional pop-off play. So, I like what I see so far from St. Edward's. And I mentioned the stats earlier. I'm curious the possession as well, because St. Edward's have spent a lot of this series in defense. And this is taking the stats from all 7 games of the Scrim. But time in the offensive half is actually about even. About even between both teams. This is nice. Oh, Tater had a chance there. Well, up front as well, causing a bit of confusion, but Davenport aren't going to fall for that the first time around, and the rebound's just off as well. This isn't a bad game. St. Edward's, they go down with that 3-goal run in the middle of the game after having a lead. But I think they've done really well to battle back. Just missed a couple of opportunities. Now with 10 seconds left, Proc's pre-jumping you downfield. And a good little play to end it. But I think Davenport knew that was about over. And again, sorry, Manny, for peeping in. And I'm realizing that that game we just watched was game number 4. Yeah, I skipped one. Those Manny replays from yesterday confused me a little bit. Sorry to show those losses again. Bruton Parker. But that's these commentary videos are actually doing pretty well so far. That one I did about Kronovi's CRL debut is doing quite well for my standards. My standards of going through periods of uploading 6 videos in 2 weeks and then periods of 0 videos in 3 months. So I don't think the algorithm knows what to make of me sometimes. Great demo. Nice play out in front. I love combo plays like this. Just the perfectly timed interception by Bolte that confuses Tater and coming off the sidewall. Wellis is baited out into thinking that maybe Tater's clearing, and Noly's taken out by Brock. That's beautiful. Poetry in motion. Which is why Rocket League is such a good game. So much you can do, but it's so hard to execute what you properly want to do most of the time. Which is why I like high-level replays. I enjoy lower-level series where I want to focus on the gameplay, just be a bit entertained. But I think for these commentary videos, these high-level replays are a bit better. Wanting to be distracted all the time with insane stuff happening. But at the same time, I'm entertained by the high-level plays that these guys are putting on. Which I say that, and poor Cam is driving backwards at the ball. And that, again, is Rocket League for you. It tells you that anyone can be put in spots like that. be put in spots to make to look a little silly. Noly's missed a couple of backboard reads like that, and I've led immediately to Davenport goals. So point that out, I suppose. But this is a pretty one-sided Davenport game, which we have the spoilers on that bar, and man, St. Edwards have hit the woodwork pretty often. Once again, good opportunities that they're creating for themselves. Just a little bit off with the shots, and that honestly could be the difference in this series. Nice speed. Cam is so good on the ball. Cam's one of those guys that in person, you would not expect the quiet guy that he is to have that much Rocket League skill pent up in his thumbs. But overall, very nice team, this Davenport roster. Which my overlay thing is still not working, or I guess I've tried it, but it's still not in my OBS scene. Oh man, nice save. Bolty's been so good. But yeah, for those that needed the overlay, yeah, Davenport's in orange, St. Edwards is in blue. Hopefully you figured that out. I worry sometimes though about some of the people that watch my streams and watch streams in general. Sometimes I won't even watch the broadcast that I have up. I'll just read Twitch chat, especially with the RLCS. Man, St. Edwards just cannot defend. Rough game. I think every game we've watched so far, Davenport scored at least 4 goals. Oh, did Tater get bumped out there? Wellis is back of the nets. Tater just drives off, playing a pass, and I think Wellis gets bumped. Okay. Yeah, I don't hate the idea. Davenport just punished St. Edwards for trying a passing play there. And now it's mostly saves from here on out. I think 4-1 is the final. Yeah. I mean, St. Edwards is right there with the big boys, which, if you are looking decent against Davenport, who have a full year of playing together, I think that's a good sign for St. Edwards, who are very early in this roster's lifespan. I mean, Wellis is the only returning player from last season, and Tater is now, he's upgraded his teammates, he's upgraded his competition consistently, and Noly is coming back from not playing in the RLCS for a full season, I believe. The RLCS is starting to blend together for me. All these open era years. Boost glitch there though. Bolty did have boost there. Just siphoning it from the St. Edwards defense, it looked like. But this is St. Edwards and Davenport. So close for SEU, but so far, a lot of work to be done. Going to skip ahead to the end here and then go ahead and end the video as we get another Davenport save as St. Edwards ramp the pressure up. But hope someone's enjoying these commentary videos so far. I need to find some spicier replays. So if you're out there and you've got CRL replays, feel free to send them my way. I'll watch whatever, because ball chasing can only get me so far. A lot of teams don't make scrims public like that. So shout out to Tater, shout out to Manny, and shout out to Christian as well from St. Clair Gold, who all make their replays public. I want to see what I can grab for the next ones. Might do some Nightlight show match replay. Not really analysis. Maybe it's a little bit of analysis mixed with me talking about whatever I want to talk about, but whatever this is, I'll see if I can grab some Nightlights replays. But everyone, like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. I'll have more stuff out soon outside of the podcast, the show match of the week, these commentary videos, because tournaments are wrapping up. So I'll start doing my predictions and breakdowns again pretty soon. So everyone have a good weekend. I'll see you when I see you.